Ask for Mike. With Thumbtack, you can see licenses, insurance, background checks, and photos of past projects all in the app. Plus, the pros we know
Counties were not impacted, but many other counties were, and they were forced to warn people going online and letting them know that it had been that it went down and that it had been restored. Now, Pierce County officials tell Kiro 7 the outages that hit yesterday appeared to be a statewide issue. Officials there tell us the calls were coming in, but location and caller info wasn't showing up to dispatchers. Now, agencies were forced to scramble, notifying people about the system's status. One of them was the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office, posted on Facebook about nearly 12 hours ago, letting people know that 911 service has been restored, but it also warned people earlier about the outage, saying Whatcom County is one of many counties across Washington and other states experiencing a disruption to 911 services. Our local services remain operational and our personnel are all ready to assist. Now, again, 911 service is working this morning. There doesn't appear to be anything wrong with it. We want to also note that you can text 911 when in an emergency, and that system did not appear to be impacted by yesterday's outage. We're live in West Seattle. Ranji Sinha, Kiro 7 News.
All right, thank you, Ranji. First responders are warning swimmers about the dangers of the cold water after a teen's death on Sunday. We told you about this yesterday after the 15-year-old girl drowned at Lake Sammamish State Park. And now we're learning multiple factors may have played a role in her death. Eastside Fire and Rescue say she was wearing heavy clothing, which might have weighed her down. She also, we're told, didn't know how to swim. It took crews 20 minutes to find her, and when they did, she was 20 feet below the water line, eventually dying at the beach. Now crews are not only issuing a warning about the cold water, but also to drivers parking illegally, which can delay first responders.
We had to turn on lights and sirens to even get out of the park because there was so many people in the way and parked illegally, so we couldn't even exit the area.
First responders are asking people to look out for each other and be aware of underwater drop-offs where it can suddenly get deeper and a lot colder. Now, wildfire season is picking up in eastern Washington. Several fires sparked over the weekend. The largest fire is burning near Toppenish. That is the Thule fire. The National Interagency Fire Center says it's burned more than 18,000 acres. It is not contained. It sparked after 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon, briefly shutting down a stretch of Highway 97. You can see why they're very close to the road. Further east, the Juniper Dunes fire has burned more than 3,600 acres outside of Pasco. That hiking area is shut down and level 2 evacuations are in place. No word on containment. And then south of that is the Highway 730 Twin Sisters fire. This one sparked Saturday. It's burned more than 8,200 acres near the Washington-Oregon border. Highway 730 is still open, but there are level 3 go now evacuation orders in effect near the highway. With all those fires, let's check in with Pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard. Nick, you were talking about how it's such a different story east of the mountains compared to here.
That's the thing. It's dry everywhere for sure, right? But they're going to feel some different kind of wind than we are because we'll be breezy today, but we have the cooler ocean air. They will eventually feel some of that, but they're going to get really breezy in order for it to push inland. And with that, it's also very dry east of the Cascades. They have low humidity, and you can see right there are drought conditions east. We've had about ½ an inch above average of rainfall west of the Cascades already for the month, and you can actually see that here. Of course, none yesterday. It was record-setting heat, but for the month, you know, we're about ½ an inch or just under above normal, and only about ½ inch for the year under. So we're doing okay in terms of actual precipitation. The problem is we didn't do very well for snowpack. And east of the Cascades, because of the wind and how dry it is, that's a red flag warning. West, we do not have that. And what I'm looking for, though, is a huge shift in temperatures. Instead of 91 in, say, Seattle or 93 in Olympia, which, yes, were both record-setting, and Seattle's warmest temperature of the year so far, and our first 90 of the year so far, and we set a record yesterday, 76. So it's going to feel a lot cooler. Higher humidity, but it will be a little breezy. That's something I want to look at specifically in 10 minutes. Most of us will feel it around, say, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Not terrible, but still breezy. 76 in Kent, 71 in Lake Stevens, 76, 77 around Puyallup. Auburn, the South Hill, probably more like 74, 73, somewhere in that range, 75. Bellingham, 73. Still a beautiful day, much cooler compared to yesterday. But let's go through where we can see a little more cloud cover, especially because of the wind, and see if we have any chances for precipitation anytime soon. I got you covered for the World Cup as well. But at 6:38, I say you get that Kiro 7 weather app. It's super handy anytime we have an advisory or an alert. 6:38, you know what else is handy? An update on real-time traffic from Paola, Tristan, and Ruta.
Yeah, you definitely are going to need it because look at that traffic out there. This is on I-5 southbound, right at I-90, still blocking off that right-hand lane because there's a disabled vehicle right here. So you can see plenty of crews there on scene. Traffic is able to get by on all of the other lanes, but definitely slowing things down, mixed with just the typical traffic. But right now, I am seeing a lot of congestion, especially as you make your way up I-5 northbound right near Federal Way. Speeds in the area about 27 miles per hour, 29 heading in from Auburn all the way towards Kent, and then closer to Brenton you can see speeds in the area about 16 miles per hour. I mean, right now your commute from Tacoma to Seattle is already at 1 hour and 23 minutes, so you're definitely going to want to take your time and give yourself some extra time this morning. But I do want to take a look at your commute if you're heading in from the north sound. I'll have that for you in 10 minutes.
Thanks, Paola. Trains were packed for Seattle's first World Cup game. What Sound Transit is doing on match days to help people get to the stadium faster. Plus, researchers are testing a new experimental flu shot. Why it could be one of the most effective ones ever. And in minutes, would you take on a cougar to save your goat? A dramatic moment when a woman comes face to face with that big cat.
Is that
Bob and Kathy?